Hello, listeners. My name is Charles Scott. The program which you are listening to is called Time to Own, and Time to Own is one of the programs that we're going to be talking about today, but it's called Can We Talk? And I'm here with my son.
How you guys doing? It's Charles Scott Jr. Welcome, viewers. You're looking at a podcast that we do every week called Time to Own. Give us a call. That number is below. Any questions you may have. But before you call us, look at the videos we have in the past. I would say we got to have over 100 episodes. I'm going to count them one day and put numbers next to them. But over 100 episodes of information about not just local real estate, what's going on in the world at that time. But give us a call. Anything that you may see on this episode that confuses you, we don't want to be confusing. We'll explain it to you.
And as we started off by saying time to own, it's time to own means it's time for you to buy a house.
Exactly. I would say you might have said time to own because also there's a program out there for our Connecticut residents. Give us a call about that. You may have heard of it. You may have not heard of it. It's called Time to Own. And we got some more funding in there. We're getting people in the houses with this program.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think you just said the governor just put another $20 million in there?
Yes. Right now we're sitting around $44 million. No, it sounds like a lot of money, but like I said, it's not infinite. It does start going down. So give us a call, and we'll see if you qualify. We'll point you in the right direction and see if you can get it. And also, this is a special thing about this program. It is forgivable, which most of these programs are loans on top of your mortgage. This one's forgivable, which is very unique.
So if you're a Connecticut resident and you've been a Connecticut resident for the last 3 years,
Yes.
then you could possibly qualify for this program, which in the long run is free money.
Yes,
free,
yes.
You know, you see the guy on TV years ago, he used to say, free money, free money, free money. And this is really free money to help you buy a house. What it is basically is they're trying to create home ownership, make it affordable for you to be able to purchase a home, because in Connecticut the prices have gone up. So this is something that you can use for your down payment. You can use it for your closing costs, which is your lawyer, your appraisal, your inspection, your insurance. Because when you're buying a house, you not only have a down payment, but you have other fees that are associated with buying the house. And so you can use these fees also to help you with the purchase of that particular property that you're looking for. So take advantage of it. You know, it's out there, and like I said, they just put more money into the program, so it's well funded for right now, and it's a first time, you know, a first come, first served, so it's not there forever.
Yes.
And people, you know, you can't wait 6 months, 7 months, a year later. Even if you're not ready right now, at least get started, look into it, see what might be possible for you to get pre-qualified to be able to buy that house.
Yeah, I was going to tell people that. People call me and they say, well, I'm not sure if I'm ready. Even if you're not ready, give us a call. We'll put you in the right direction, link you with someone in our mortgage department. We have a lot of colleagues in that area. And they'll let you know if you're ready, or maybe you have to wait a couple more months to increase your credit. Maybe you're waiting for a promotion at your job. Maybe you're starting to get more overtime that's going to be permanent. But give us a call. The best thing you can do is start that foot forward versus just waiting. Because if you're waiting, what are we seeing? What happens when people are waiting? The prices are still going up, and we're seeing the inventory still being low at this point.
You know, we talk about, you know, a lot of people out there and the probate, because we do a lot of probate. One of the things that we've been talking about last program, or the last episode, was we were talking about probate court and some of the things that you can do and how we can assist you with that, with that procedure. And one of the things that we haven't heard for years is the word short sale.
Oh yeah, remember that? That was very popular, I'll say, about, was like maybe 15 years ago, 2010, 2009. Short sale, which you may say, that's what I want a short sale, but you didn't realize short sale means that the person who is selling the house may owe more than the actual house is worth. And when it comes to that, a lot of negotiation involved. Who's getting paid? Is the bank that had the first mortgage getting all the money? Or about the second person in line? What about that lien that's there? So definitely, we're experts at short sales too. We've been through markets like that. So give us a call if you are experiencing any higher debt than, I'll say, value ratios.
You know, one of the things that we can really help everybody out there with is if you are a first-time home buyer and if you've never purchased a property before, I've noticed a lot of people are calling in. I assume that's because the rents are going up.
Yes.
And what's happening is that you need to know where to get started. Your first step actually is to get pre-qualified or pre-approved for a mortgage. And so you want to get your paperwork in order, you want to start getting things together, and then when you call us, we will tell you some of the programs that are out there, some of the banks and the individual mortgage officers, because we meet with them on a consistent basis.
Yes.
I mean, I'd say within any given month, we meet with at least 15 different mortgage officers.
Yeah.
And we have there's a nonprofit that actually sponsors breakfast and conversation where we get together once a month and everybody talks about some of the programs that are out there. The bankers talk about their new programs, and it's all geared towards first-time home buyers. Bridgeport Neighborhood Trust, I can mention the name, it's a nonprofit. And what they do is they have home buying classes. And you could give us a call, we can refer you to the agency, you could sign up. And it's actually a little mini home buying class on what you need to do to buy a house.
Yes.
You teach the classes, maybe you could talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's called Building Neighborhoods Together. It's right there on State Street in Bridgeport. You give us a call, link you with the right people to go over there. It's very educational, very informative. I will say the majority of people out here looking for property with their real estate agent, I will say they don't know much about what's going on in the market. They have to rely on their agent. You take this course, depending on the agent, not me, but you may know more than your agent because that's a very informative class. I believe it's 2 days, split between 8 hours, but very informative. And I suggest anybody take it, especially those who have FHA mortgages. I believe you do have to take that course in order to get the certification. But very, very informative class.
Yeah, after you take the class too, they give you a certificate. Now the certificate is required in some of the programs that if you're going to get the free money, they require that you take the class, a home buying class. But when I say home buying class, it's not anything involved where you have to go every day. It's a one-day course, I think it is.
Well,
sometimes 2 days.
Yeah, 2 days.
Couple of days, and you go in.
Well, the best part, it's from home. It's from Zoom.
Oh, they're still doing
Our
it on
clients
Zoom.
they're busy. They have kids and stuff. It's from Zoom. You go right from I see people in pajamas sometimes, Very convenient for your schedule. It's usually after people get out of work from 4 to 8 o'clock. I'm teaching a lot of those classes, but give them a call, Building Neighborhoods Together. You call the information line, they'll point you in the right direction, but very good class to take. And you take it from home ever since COVID.
Yeah, so imagine that, take the class from home. And there's other people, in on the class, and the instructor, Beverly Hoppy, she's been doing this for years and years and years. Usually they'll have a banker, they'll have a realtor, a home inspector.
And someone does insurance.
An insurance guy. So you get an idea of what they're going to be looking for whenever you buy that particular house. And then Beverly always fills in with giving you some, war stories about what happened in the past, things to do, things not to do. I think there's more things not to do than to do, where people make mistakes going out and doing things that will affect their credit, such as buying new cars. If you're looking to buy a house in the future, do not go out and buy a brand new car. And people say, oh, well, that's going to give me points on my credit score.
Some people think how about this mindset? Some people say, okay, let me call my realtor now. Let me call Mr. Scott. I got that big purchase out the way. I got the car. Now I can go buy the house. Well, realize now you're worse off because now you have more debt on your name and you can afford less for the house. So it's kind of like you're doing things backwards.
Yeah, don't buy the car.
Wait to buy the car.
Wait to buy the car. After you buy a house, you'll have every car dealer in the world trying to sell you a car.
Same thing with the furniture. Do not finance that furniture. I know it may say 18 months, no down payment, interest-free, no payment. But the thing is, once you even inquire about the furniture, it's going to be a hit on your credit. And when these mortgage companies go to check the day before closing, they're going to look and see, were you shopping for credit? Your score might have actually went down. And God forbid, let's say you actually bought the furniture. Now you're definitely going to be in trouble with the mortgage person.
Exactly. We're home based in Bridgeport, Connecticut, but we sell real estate and we have clients all over the state of Connecticut and even out of the state of Connecticut.
Yes.
Even in foreign countries. We're constantly on WhatsApp or we have to sometimes check the time zone to see what time it is because we don't want to call someone 3 o'clock in the morning. And a lot of our clients or our investors, they travel. They're in Europe, they're in Barbados, they're in France, they're all over the place.
Exactly.
They go on vacation. So we have to make sure that we're able to get in touch with all of these different people. So what happens is that we're in constant contact with everyone, And when the people are traveling, we still talk to them on a consistent basis, because real estate is something where there's always something to do, always something happens, always a document. We do things by, like you just said with the classes, you don't have to go in a physical class to even take a class. A lot of times, a lot of the information that we do is DocuSign, where everything's into the modern age now. If you need a signature, if you need to verify something, we can send it to you. You can look in, do it right on your cell phone, right on your computer. You can sign, you can give authorization. So, the new world now, things are done a lot easier. Even a lot of the loan officers now, years ago, you used to go into the bank and bring all your paperwork in a paper bag.
The bank. What's inside the bank? You've been in banking years.
No.
ATM's on the outside, right?
That's true. They changed a lot
How
of
about
that.
this? The mortgage person's not even inside the bank anymore. He's in another hub.
That's right.
He's in a different state. Things have changed.
Could be home working from his office. You don't, if you say that, if you call a lot of times the mortgage person say, well, I'm going to come down and see you. And they go, what? No, you don't have to do that. This is what I need. I'll email you what I need, and you can just upload it, download it, whatever, send it over to me. And this is what a lot of them do.
Exactly. And for our viewers out there who are watching on TV, regular standard television and stuff, who may not be tech savvy, give us a call, because we do it the old school way too.
We'll help you.
We'll come to our office. We'll help you upload those documents to your mortgage person, so you'll have it ready for them. We have scanners. We have multiple printers, and so we're ready to go. Versus some people may not realize, they go to the library, they might run into roadblocks. They won't let you scan just as much, that you need to. Because it's going to be a lot of paperwork. We've had people bring packages this big. We overnight it right to the mortgage person because, we take care of our clients and we understand not everybody's going to be computer savvy.
Right. That's the difference between some real estate agents and our agency. We hold your hand. We know that this is something that you've never done before. And many people out there, the bank will say, well, just email this to me or scan this to me. Many people out there, they do not have scanners.
Very true.
So therefore, how can they get the information? So you come into our office, you could use our scanner. We scan all of the materials that they're looking for, and we can email it to them, and they can have it within a matter of seconds.
Exactly.
And we got a copy, and you got your original copy that you can keep. And so a lot of this stuff is done, a lot easier than it used to be in the past. Even now, a lot of times what happens is that the banks require verification from your employer that you're working. Years ago, you would go into HR and you'd say, hey, I'm buying a house, I need a copy of my pay stubs, I need a copy of this. And the HR person had an office and they print it right out and hand it to you. Now you might find out that HR might be 1,000 miles away, it might be in Texas. And you've got to go in there and put in your code, you've got to download the information, and you got to send it to the mortgage company. So it can be very easy, or it can be difficult for a person who's not into, the technology that's out there now. So we can help you with all of that.
We can help you with all that because I see a lot of people, they get their paychecks. No one's getting printed paychecks anymore. Your paycheck is on your phone now, and a lot of those times those files are encrypted where you cannot share them. So we have techniques we can get that into a PDF for you and get it to your mortgage person. So hey, give us a call if you run into any roadblocks. Make sure you give us a call. Make sure you're not working with a realtor already, or if you are, make sure you're making those arrangements to move to us, because you believe how many people give us calls every day and ask for advice, and we give them great advice, and then they say, oh, my realtor didn't tell me that. And I said, well, I didn't know you were working with a realtor. How's that going, So please make sure that if you are working for a realtor, check what you may have signed with them before you come to us, or bring it to us. We'll read it too. You may not realize the jargon in there.
Exactly. You can't work with multiple realtors because then everybody's just bumping heads with each other.
Some people don't realize that. They say, I got a realtor for Norwalk, a realtor for Waterbury. You just need one realtor.
Exactly. We have all the properties that all the realtors have.
Exactly.
Because the way real estate works, and a lot of people really don't understand that, is that all of the listings, all of the houses that are for sale come out of basically one central location called the multiple listing service. So when each realtor goes out there and puts a house up for sale, generally they will list it with the multiple listing service, and then we belong as a member, and we go in and we can look and see what properties that are out there. There are other avenues also, and some other places that you can find listings, but the majority of them are on the multiple listing service.
I was going to say the multiple listing service, like I'll say, that's the center stage. When you put stuff on MLS, that's when all these apps start updating, whether it be Zillow, Redfin, Trulia, Realtor.com. They get all their information from the MLS. So that's why I tell my clients, send me any houses you may have on these apps to me immediately, because you may have the information that was updated at 4 p.m., but at 8 o'clock at night, when you send it to me at 8:02, I have the 8:02 information. I have the real-time information, whether or not that house is under contract, maybe it was withdrawn, maybe it's continued to show on a deposit. So always send it to your realtor so they can do some research.
And if you look on Google, a lot of people now Google. We are one of the top real estate agencies within the city and within the area. You can just Google, you see our name right there.
Just call the number.
Call the
number's right there.
Call the number right there. A lot of people like to Google and see the references and see the comments and everything. If you do that, you'll see that we're right there, right at the top. By calling us, you'll get either one of us, and we will even pick up the cell phone.
Yeah, about that. A lot of realtors now you see have answering services and AI agents. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to pick the phone up, because who knows what your schedule may be. You know, you may be in a rush, and then I'm about to reschedule that phone call, but at least we made contact.
So there's a lot of things that are going on, a lot of programs that are out there. And what's happening in the marketplace right now, as far as, national news and local news, there's still a shortage of properties that are out there. So in some of the stuff that you read in the national news does not apply to all areas. You may see some areas in some cities where we've been following it recently, where prices are starting to drop. But it's all depending on the area. Fairfield County, I think, what was that article you were showing me about the top 10?
Well, let's say at Bridgeport, Fairfield is one of the top 10 cities for bidding wars, because the inventory is so low. So there's less houses for people to go after.
So that means in Fairfield County, coming in out of New York and coming down the 95, the prices around here are still not dropping, somewhat, but not like in other states and other areas. And that's basically because we still have a lot of people coming in from New York City. It's all based on supply and demand.
No, I was going to say supply and demand. So right now we have, like, let's say, I always like to use the car dealership thing where, let's say someone's going to a car dealership, they see a Ferrari, there's one Ferrari, 10 millionaires bidding on the Ferrari, it's going to be a bidding war. Versus if there's 20 Ferraris and 10 millionaires, they can spread out, and then they can probably get a discount. There's more cars than there are people. Right now we have more buyers than we do have properties that are empty for these buyers to go into. So it's creating what we see. But that doesn't make it's not impossible. I've actually gotten a lot of first-time home buyers into some deals because, like I said, sometimes half the battle is who's representing you. You got Tri-State Realty representing you, and other firms know when we have an offer submitted, it's going to be a solid offer.
Exactly. I was going to say that. A lot of times when you're dealing with other realtors, or we're dealing with realtors, they all know our reputation. Sometimes realtors may hold off on accepting an offer if they're unsure as to whether or not it's going to close, or whether it's going to go all the way from the beginning to the end.
Exactly.
Or if something's going to go wrong. But we have a good reputation in dealing with the other realtors out there. They know that if we're sending them a contract and we're negotiating in good faith, that we're going to be able to close it. We're going to be able to put it together, and our clients are going to be capable and qualified to be able to buy that property. So, sometimes it may not even be the amount of money that they want in their offer, but they will still accept the offer. An offer that's less money that's going to close is better than a promise of something where they're offering a lot of money, but yet the people aren't going to be able to perform.
Because there is a term we have when it's a house that is very sought after on the market. It may come on the market on Thursday. Let's say by Tuesday, they're ready to make a decision. They may ask everyone who saw the house looking for the highest and best offer. Come come after us, put a new offer in. Now, just because it says highest and best, that doesn't mean that the best offer is always the highest. What if it's a cash offer? That could be the best offer. It's up to that agent to explain to their client, and also it's up to you, as the buyer agent, to represent you and say this is going to be the best offer for you to choose. So, like I said, you want to have some good representation.
If you're looking to sell a house right now is a great time, because what we're looking for, or what's in demand, is multifamilies.
Yes.
In other words, if you have a 2-family, you have a 3-family. Maybe you're tired of being the landlord. Maybe you bought it when you had, younger children and a lot of relatives, and everybody, people have since moved out, and you want to move on. Maybe you want just a peace and quiet of a single family or a condo, or you're relocating.
You could have tenants in there, which are great, but you just don't have the heart to increase that rent. They've been with you since 1998. You got maybe they're related to you, friends of the family. I have a lot of landlords that call me and say, I'm ready to sell the house. Can I sell with the tenants in there? I'm like, yeah, that happens all the time. Keep the leases in there. Maybe it's month to month. Let that be the next person's responsibility to whether increase that or file, whatever they have to do.
The other thing too is a lot of people hesitate by saying, oh, there's repairs that I want to make before I sell the house. There's some things that I want to do. And I always say, let me come out and look and see what things should be done and which things you leave for the new buyer.
Exactly.
You don't know what the new buyer likes, what colors they like in order to paint the rooms. Even brand new appliances. You might buy appliances that they had a bad experience with.
Exactly.
You spend all of that money and they go, oh, I don't like that. Or you might buy an electric stove and they were like a gas stove.
Very true.
A lot of people still say, I like cooking on the gas stove. It's better for the cooking than the electric and just setting the stove on a piece of glass. So what you like doesn't mean that the new buyer is going to like what you like. So you're better off in some cases just leaving things and selling the house as is, and letting the new buyer pick out the appliance. Let the new buyer pick out the color scheme.
Even as is, where is. That's the term we see when the house is being sold as is, which means they're not making any modifications to the house. If you go to that house and just say you get a winning offer and you want an inspection, it will be for informational purposes only. They are not fixing anything. They put that at the beginning as is. And it's good to have a realtor that reads that. I've seen other realtors who get their clients into a bind when it's an FHA client as is, but what if the house needs paint? What if it needs a railing in the back? What if it has water issues, flood insurance? So remember, as is can be good if the house is great as is, but if you're FHA, you want to have a realtor that's going to look at these things before you lose your deposit possibly.
Exactly. You don't want to go in there and do a lot of things, like I said, that the new buyer will not even like.
Exactly.
Years ago, when people bought homes, and it always amazes me, if you go out and look at a lot of the older homes, right now when people are selling them, they have carpeting on the floors. Two main things you could tell when a house is really dated: carpeting and wallpaper.
Yes.
Carpeting and wallpaper. And they always had either a pink or a blue bathroom.
Always pink, light blue, wallpaper. Yep, that's what I have a client I work with, and we said, we're going to see another grandma house. I'm like, yeah, we're going to see a grandma house. Now, the thing is, those houses have value in them. I mean,
sure do.
If you go in there, all you got to do is a couple upgrades. You'll be surprised, because I have a lot of clients that want a house that's turnkey. Remember, when you're going to buy that turnkey house, you're going to pay a turnkey price. That's what everybody wants. Why not buy that? I'll give another analogy, like a car dealership. Buy that clunker and put some new wheels on it, new windshield, and there you go. You got a new car right there. Tune the engine up. A lot of these houses have a lot of, what they say, good bones in them. You'll be surprised how much equity you can find in them.
So if you're out there and you have a house for sale, or you're looking to sell that particular house, don't wait until you fix it up to your liking, or you're going to make all these repairs.
Yes.
We come out, we look, it's called a market analysis. We don't charge any money for it.
It's free.
We'll come out, we look at the house, and we give you some ideas. That doesn't mean you don't have to sell it now. You don't ever have to sell it. We'll still come out and give you some ideas to increase the value. Maybe you want to refinance the house. If you want to refinance the house and pull some money or cash out of the house, the better the appearance or the more value that it has, then the more money that you will be able to get when you refinance it.
Exactly.
So we have many things that we can do to help you. So just because we come out and give you a market analysis doesn't mean you have to sell your house. You may just want to figure out, Mr. Scott, what can I do to make this house worth more money?
Mm-hmm. And then for those of you who have multiple properties, we also help people rent out their houses. Those that may have a property, they have a vacation home, or maybe they want to rent out 6-month leases.
Right.
We definitely specialize in that too.
We haven't talked that much about that, but yes, in other words, I know you've rented out quite a few homes for people, and we do a complete background check.
Yes.
We do the police check. We do the credit check, the employment check. We verify with the previous land. There's a lot of work in renting out an apartment. I mean, a lot of work. Sometimes there's more work in renting out an apartment than there is in getting someone to find them a house to buy. Because there's a lot of things that you have to look into.
Yes.
Because when you get a tenant, you want someone that's going to stay there, that reliable, especially if you live in the building.
Especially live in the building.
You're going to be living with that. It's like a marriage. You're going to be living with that person.
Exactly. Very true.
So you want to make sure that you get a good tenant. My son does most of the rentals. Give him a call.
Numbers right there. Give us a call, whether it be a CMA, whether you're a listing house, whether you're looking to buy a house. Remember that time the home program. Don't delay on that.
Yes. And we can't emphasize that enough. There's $40 million. That's 40. $40 million available for first-time home buyers as long as you've been in the state over 3 years and qualify.
Let's qualify.
And if you stay in the house long enough, you don't even have to pay that money back.
Exactly.
And it can help you buy a house in the state of Connecticut. So give us a call. There's our number right there, father-son team, 40 years in business. At least me, I'm 40 years. He's not that old enough.
About 16 years in business, but I got mine instead of a 40, I'd say 40 years in business. But give us a call anyway.
So until next week, hopefully this information has been useful to you. Tell your friends. Look at all of our YouTubes and all of our past episodes. Until next week, God bless.
Amen.